So you've no doubt you're probably so sick and tired of hearing about the Hawk Tuah girl, but she's in the news because of this Hawk coin. She started this crypto coin. Of course, everybody's got to get in that space. It's if you're if you're moderately notorious or famous in some way, I guess you got to start your own crypto coin now. It's gonna be the new thing, like makeup lines back in the 2000s. Everybody started one. I'm going to read this article here. Not very much of it because I don't want to get too much in this, but this is Cointelegraph. Just going to talk a little bit. This was an interesting article because it talked a little bit about some of the money and things like that was actually hit into it and such. But we're not really going to talk too much about that. I want to kind of delve into the idea that she may have been directly, indirectly involved. If that makes sense. Kind of like where she maybe didn't know what was going to happen, but ought to have known, and all of the people that she gifted coins to were the ones that essentially tanked this thing and stole off everybody else. So potential charges Hailey Welch could face if SEC probes Hawk launch. The disastrous launch of influencer Hailey Welch's Hawk Tuah, Hawk meme coin, this week was marred by allegations of sniping and insider trading, with the token plunging 91% in just 3 hours. Welch has denied these claims, and authorities have not announced any investigation. However, if the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or the Department of Justice, the DOJ, we know how uncorrupt they are, decide to investigate the controversial launch, Welch and her team could face significant legal scrutiny. And I think they should. Honestly, my opinion, you should, I don't know. You should have a hold on your own thing there a little bit. I mean, there's a certain amount of pump and dump that can just happen outside of your control, I guess. But if they find that any of the original holders of the coin did anything like that, then yeah, I think in some shit. According to Yuri Brizov, partner at law firm Digital and Analog Partners, the SEC can pursue civil charges for securities fraud, alleging misrepresentation or deceit in the sales of securities if Hawk qualifies as a security under the Howey test. The DOJ might consider criminal charges like wire fraud or money laundering, especially if there's evidence of intentional deception or financial misconduct. On December 4th, Welch launched the Hawk meme coin, which briefly surged to a peak value of $490 million. This is the market cap of it, of course, before plummeting over 90% to $30 million in a few hours. The launch was marred by allegations of insider trading, as well as having a supply allegedly controlled almost entirely by a small number of addresses, the extortion and sniping. Brizov said whether the allegations constitute insider trading depends on whether the token is classified as a security. So this is where you get into that gray, it's murky, right? So because it's not really, the SEC doesn't really govern this completely, they kind of like they wash their hands of it and stuff. It's like the Wild West. They just tell you, like, if you're going to invest in these cryptos, you have to assume a ton of risk for yourself. Where, I think you can kind of do it better, I think, if you're them. But this is where I was interested. So it says here, however, alleged data from the DEX screener and Solana Block Explorer SolScan shows a string of more than 80 wallet addresses that had not purchased the token. So that suggests that they were allocated tokens before the launch, all of which sold their Hawk holdings for between $10,000 and $365,000 in profit. So that's where it gets bad, because if she gave away a ton of these coins to people that were somehow involved, that's insider trading. And how could you just wash your own hands of it and say, oh, I didn't know anything like that was going to happen, when everyone that you gave coins to did that? It looks bad. It doesn't look good for her. Whether they're going to go ahead and do any kind of legal thing, I think this could be, I mean, I don't know how legit she was anyway, if she's just riding this Hawk Tuah wave, or if she's actually somehow legitimized herself to be popular just based on her personality or not. But I think this could probably spell the end for this chick. And, neither here nor there for me. I don't really care either way. There's tons of people on the internet that are they're ridiculous. I'm one of them, I'm sure. But yeah, enough with the Hawk Tuah shit already, I guess.